welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about how I train my cats. I use a target stick and a clicker, but you don't need to use those things. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why you would want to train your cats and the basics on how to do it. So, why would you want to train your cats? And yes, cats can be trained very similar to dogs. So you would want to train your cats because it really strengthens the bond that you have with your cat. It's really kind of a magical relationship that you can create with your cat. And you really learn how your cat communicates, and your cat learns how to listen and to communicate with you as well. Overall, it just makes life with your cat easier. It makes your cat's life easier, and it makes your life easier. It makes daily activities easier, as well as emergency situations or going to the vet. Teaching cats increases your cat's confidence, which will reduce undesired behaviors, which will reduce boredom, reduce anxiety and stress that your cat may be experiencing. If your cat isn't experiencing these things, then teaching your cat and training your cat can prevent these things from happening. It is also really good for indoor cats, and I do recommend that you do have an indoor cat because it's very dangerous outdoors. I've worked in shelters and I've fostered cats and kittens, and I've seen a lot of the things that happens to them when they are outside, and it's just not pretty. It's just much safer to have an indoor cat. So I have 3 cats. I have 2 males and a female, Sugar, Tron, and Zorro. Zorro is the youngest and Tron is the oldest. They're the 2 males and Sugar is in the middle. I have Tron right here in front of me. He keeps walking by. See if I can get him to come look in the camera. So here's Tron. And Sugar's just over there. Maybe she'll come by. So I use a clicker and a target stick when I train my cats. A clicker is just something small, I'll show you it later, that you put in your hand and it clicks and it makes a sound. They're like $2, they're really cheap, and I use this because it's easier for your cat to hear it. It's consistent, it's clear, and it's really quick. It's a lot more consistent than your voice. If you are able to keep the same tone of voice and use the same word again and again, then that's great, but I just feel like a clicker is way easier. And you really don't need a target stick. A target stick is just helpful, but you can use a popsicle stick, you can use your finger, all sorts of things. So the first thing you need to know is that cats do not respond to punishment. Cats are trained very similar to how dogs are trained, and I would never punish a dog either, and you don't ever want to punish a cat. It just doesn't work. With punishment, nothing is learned long term, and they'll learn to do that action or the undesired behavior when you're not around. So if you're trying to teach them or train them to stay off the countertop, they'll stay off the countertop when you're there, but when you're not there, they'll go on the countertop. And what's the use in that? So punishment doesn't work. Cats, just like dogs, will learn behaviors through consequences. So even though they don't really learn through punishment, they will learn through rewards. So how is training a cat different from training a dog? Training a cat is different because there isn't that social aspect. Dogs really want to please you. They're social animals. They really want you to be happy. Cats are more motivated by food. So they aren't motivated like dogs. They don't want to please you. Dogs are also motivated by food, but cats are more strictly motivated just by food. So you are definitely going to need some sort of food when you are training your cat. Sometimes dry kibble can work, and sometimes wet food works, depending on your cat. So yes, cats are able to also learn voice commands. You can teach cats tricks. You can teach your cat to sit, to give you 5, to touch certain objects. All you need is a clicker, treats, a quiet place, and a lot of patience. And of course, the target stick is optional, especially if you want to teach your cats tricks. The first thing you need to do is find out what kind of food your cat is motivated by. This could be just some cheese or some wet food on the end of a spoon or on the end of a chopstick or something like that. Or it might be the tiny little bits of kibble. It might be a specialized training treat. Find a food that your cat absolutely loves and will do anything for. A food that your cat is obsessed with. So the first thing that you want to do is introduce your cat to the clicker or charge the clicker. You want to get your cat to associate the clicking sound with the treat. So all you're going to do is click and give a treat, click and give a treat, click and give a treat. Click the clicker immediately and hand out a treat. Repeat this step to help your cat learn the connection. This may take a few times, a few separate times, a few different days. You might also need to do this before every training session. Just get your cat used to clicking means good, clicking means treat. The very first thing you might want to do is teach your cat their name. Just organically, cats tend to learn their name, but if you have a young kitten and you want to start training right away, or if your cat doesn't know their name yet, that's the very first thing that you want to do. So just say your cat's name, and if your cat looks at you, click and give a treat. Or if your cat comes to you, click and give a treat. Just one quick little glance is enough to know that your cat recognizes their name. So once your cat knows their name, the next thing that you want to teach your cat is to follow the target stick. If you're not using a target stick, then you can just use your finger or a spoon, a chopstick, whatever you have just around your house that will work to guide your cat. So you want your cat to follow this guide. First, place the target stick close to your cat's nose, and when your cat sniffs the stick, click and reward. Cats naturally will be curious and go look at whatever you put in front of them. So this should naturally just happen. If not, just keep trying and your cat will eventually come and explore. And the minute they come near or touch the object, click and reward. You can also put food at the end of the target stick if they're having a little bit of trouble being interested and wanting to see what the target stick is, or if they're having trouble moving towards the target stick. Once your cat is realizing that the target stick equals something good and they'll get a reward when they pay attention to the target stick or when they touch the target stick or move towards the target stick, you want to move the target in different positions instead of just in front of your cat. So you might want to do it behind your cat, to the side of your cat, or in positions where your cat will have to move around or turn around to sniff. And again, once they touch the stick after they move, click and reward. Remember to always reward when your cat is doing the desired behavior. So I want to show you how you can teach your cat to sit. To teach your cat to sit, move the target stick or the treat slowly up and over your cat's head while they are standing. Once their bottom hits the ground, click and reward. Move the target stick up and over. Kind of hold it on top of your cat's head. Click and reward the minute their bottom touches the ground. So do this first without using the command sit or telling your cat anything, just the click and reward. And once your cat really has that down and they understand that when they see the target stick go up and over, that they sit, then you can start bringing in the word. So have them do the action first before you introduce the command or the word, and then use the target stick and repeat the process. But when your cat's bottom hits the ground, say sit and click and reward right away. So with anything that you're training your cat, first comes the desired behavior. Your cat does what you want them to do, and then you can say the command, and then you can click and reward. So you can also teach your cat to touch certain objects, or touch your arm, or touch your nose even. You can teach your cat to touch anything just by using this sort of method. And then you can add a label to that or a command. So first get them to do that, be able to do the action and know that this is an action you want them to do. And they will know this if you're clicking and rewarding at the appropriate times. And then you add the word onto it. And then eventually you can slowly phase out the target stick and just use the word, and your cat will be able to do it. So you can teach your cat to jump up or jump down. You can teach your cat to give you a high five. You can also teach your cat to go in their kennel or go in their crate, or lay in a specific spot. You can teach your cat to come. There is so much that you can teach your cat. So I just want to leave you with some tips for clicker training and training your cats in general. Timing is key. You always want to click and reward at the perfect time, which is immediately after the desired action that you want. So you're kind of like manipulating or moving your cat without actually touching them. So you're using the target stick to kind of move them in the direction or in the action that you want them to do. And then once they do it, you click and reward right away. And then once they have that down really well, you add in the word. And then you phase out the target stick and just use the word. And when you just say the word, the command, they will do the action. You do not want to click more than once. So one click, one reward, not click, click, reward. You, of course, don't want to accidentally click or click at the wrong time. You want the click to only mean reward, and yes, this is what I want you to do. You don't want to ever force your cat in the position, so no physical touching, no pushing your cat down to sit or moving your cat's body in any way. The only way you're kind of teaching them how to move is by directing them with a stick, not actually placing your hands on them. So no discipline and no punishment at all. If they're not understanding, just stop and walk away and try again later. Don't get frustrated. It's really important that this is fun and you are having fun. If you're frustrated or not having fun, then your cat is not having fun either. Your cat is frustrated, and just you want the training to be a really positive, fun experience. And you also want to reward each success, even if it is only something really little. If you're trying to do the sit and your cat only sits for less than half a second, still reward because they still sat. And over time, you can build up the length of time that they will sit. So reward even very small successes. If it's getting you close to what you want your cat to do, reward it. Training consistent. So you want to do this every day and keep it really short, only 5 minutes a day. It might even be less than that. You want training to be consistent and very short. You can wait until your cat is hungry and your cat is active. So cats have a pretty standard schedule for their day. They sleep usually at the same time every day and they're active at the same time every day. Find the time that your cat is most active, and maybe this is right before you feed them their dinner. And do a little bit of training, 3-5 minutes of training before, and then feed them their dinner. But most of all, make sure that it is a positive experience and that you are having fun. If you're having fun, your cat is having fun as well. If you're frustrated, your cat is also frustrated, and you don't want this to be a painful experience for you or your cat. It is something fun and enjoyable and a really good activity to do with your cat. So I hope this was helpful. I can do a lot more videos on training your cat specific things or tricks. So let me know in the comments below if you want to see more videos and more specific ways to train your cats and how to get your cats to do things. Please like and subscribe for a lot of similar videos on all sorts of animals. And I'll see you next time. Bye.